Hello, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on Talking Business. I am Stephanie Van Bark, and I am a small business owner. And today we are going to have actually someone I'm very excited to interview. I'm always excited to interview, but primarily this young lady because, one, she is my sorority sister. I'm asking you to guess which sorority. Also, because I've had a chance to have some really amazing conversations with her about really how she's been able to develop what is really an enterprise, an entrepreneur enterprise. So without further ado, let's welcome Corlette Deveaux.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me on your show, Sora Stephanie. I appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. As I mentioned, she is a mogul with multiple businesses. And we will ask you who you are and what you do, and you can share a little bit more about your businesses.
Well, thank you so much. Well, as you mentioned, my name is Corlette Deveaux. I'm an entrepreneur, and I have a couple of businesses that I've started over the past few years when I left corporate America. My first business that I opened was an adult daycare in Pembroke Pines. That business is still open. It's called A Joyful Heart Adult Daycare. And I started that because I felt that there was a need in the community for seniors to go instead of being at home all day. So they can essentially go to my adult daycare, stay there during the day, have entertainment. We feed them breakfast, lunch, and a snack. We take them on field trips, and we keep them entertained. And at the end of the day, they can go home with their family members. And when they get home, they're pretty exhausted and they go straight to bed. So that was a need that we wanted to fill to ensure that our seniors had a safe place to go and was entertained and had the socialization that they needed to stay healthy mentally. Mm-hmm. My second business that I opened shortly thereafter was a business inside Century Village in Pembroke Pines, and I opened that business again because there was a need in Century Village to accommodate seniors, and so in that business we put in a marketplace, and that marketplace allowed seniors to go to participate and to have access to a number of services so that they don't leave the property. So, for example, in the marketplace in Century Village, we have a cafe, a hair and a nail salon, a clinic, a pharmacy, a home health agency, and an insurance agency, all inside Century Village in Pembroke Pines. And so that filled the need for those residents to be able to stay in their community and have access to services so they don't have to leave. So that business was open in about 2016, and the business is going strong, and the seniors are patronizing the marketplace, and so we're serving a need for those seniors. So we are proud of that. In about 2017, I acquired my insurance license and opened up, started dabbling in insurance. Because, of course, there's a need and a necessity for all of us to consider having some type of insurance. And you know, what insurance really does is it helps us to have a form of security, if you will. You know, folks think that insurance is just for when you pass away. But I'm here to tell you that insurance is not just for when you pass away. Insurance can be used when you are alive, and you can use the benefits while you are alive. So we could talk a little bit about that. So I have the insurance agency, Deveaux Group Incorporated, independent insurance agency. We provide insurance coverage for clients in the United States, but we also have two companies that allows us to write insurance plans for clients outside of the United States. So I have policies that I write outside of the U.S. in the Bahamas, in Jamaica, and Haiti. Outside of the U.S., we can accommodate clients who need life insurance and health insurance outside of the country, as well as inside the country.
Okay.
And then the fourth business essentially is a medical supplies company. where we are vendors for a number of government agencies, including Broward Health, including Miami-Dade County Public Schools. And so we provide medical supplies for clients in the U.S. as well as outside of the U.S.
Okay.
That is,
See what I mean? Mogul. See what I mean? So here's my question. So it started, if I understood your bio, really sort of your first business started in 2016, correct?
the first business started in 2015.
2015. So
Yes.
really in 5 years, you've really built a an enterprise. You've built an empire of sorts. Did the first opportunity sort of drop in your lap, or was it planned? Was it structural? Did you leave corporate America knowing you were going in that direction, and have each business after that been sort of a part of the plan? How has that come to be?
Well, I'll tell you that it first started for me. Um, I was in corporate America for about 20 plus years in pharmaceutical sales.
Mhm.
And I will tell you that I enjoyed it and I loved it. There was a missing piece for me, and that missing piece was serving the community and helping others. I didn't have the freedom to help others.
Mhm.
So in 2014, when the Lord said to me one morning as I woke up, unbeknownst to me, He told me that that was the day that I needed to quit my job and walk away from corporate America. And that very same day, I told my supervisors, my boss, the COO, that I would be leaving. And I gave them 3 months notice, and
Mhm.
I left at the end of 2014. When I left at the end of 2014, I had no idea what the Lord had in store for me.
Mhm.
I prayed about it, and what came to me was going out there and helping people. I'm a philanthropist. I'm a Rotarian. I help people whenever I can. Our motto also, I'm an AKA, service above self.
Mhm.
So within my heart, I had to do something that would allow me to help others,
Mhm.
but also to survive because I needed I needed to have some finances in order to survive and take care of my children and my family. So it came into my spirit that I needed to help seniors.
Okay.
And in my culture in the Bahamas, one of the things that we were raised to do is to take care of our family members. As they get older, it is our responsibility to take care of our family members. We
Mhm.
don't put them in nursing homes. We
Mhm.
don't send them off to anywhere. It's our responsibility to take care of them. That means we would have to go to work and come home and take care of our parents.
Mhm.
That's not everyone's culture. That's just my culture,
Mhm.
right? So knowing that, it came into my heart that I should open up an adult daycare and focus on caring for seniors, and that's what I did. And as I opened it up, my thought has always been that when my mother gets to a certain age, she would come and live with me, and I would take care of her, and she would come to my adult daycare so that
Mhm.
she can have a place to stay during the day, and she would be cared for by myself and my staff. And
So,
and that's how I started.
so as an adult daycare, let's kind of delve into, we're now in this COVID situation, this
Mhm.
pandemic, where you've obviously had to pivot based on CDC requirements.
Right.
Um, did that add extra expense you had obviously had not prepared for? And how, and particularly dealing with seniors, are you now overly regulated as a result of um, owning an adult daycare center? Is it back in full swing? What's changed for the better and the worse during this time?
It has been a struggle. The adult daycare has been closed for many, many months.
Mhm.
As you can imagine, we were closed for many months, and the bills keep coming in.
Mhm.
Um, but I understand. I understand and I empathize. I do not want any family members to bring their loved ones to the adult daycare. I advocate for them staying at home, even though it is at the detriment of my facility,
Mhm.
because that is the right thing to do.
Yes. Yes.
So now we are open. And we have a very, very small number of people who are coming back.
Mhm.
We are taking extreme precautions, sanitizing, practicing social distancing.
Mhm.
And we know that right now we have about 10 clients. We went from about 55 to 60 clients to now 10 clients.
Mhm.
And we know that we just need to have patience because it will eventually get to the point where people are more comfortable coming back and we will get back to the numbers that we were at before. But the most important thing for me to communicate is that if you're not comfortable bringing your family members back, don't. Practice
Are you
social
at,
distancing.
with this reopening? Are you at least at a break even point, or you still are sort of carrying the load financially, expense wise, until you can get that audience back?
We did get some assistance from APD,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
the Agency for Persons with Disabilities. We have a
Okay.
contract with them, so there was some reprieve. Um, we are at about 10 clients right now.
Okay.
We've reduced our staff significantly,
Mhm.
so we're not at break even, but I say it could be worse.
Mhm.
So, of course, you're digging into your savings and you're digging into your resources to make this happen. So, we're optimistic that within the next month or so, we will be possibly back at 20.
Okay.
And
Okay.
in 20, we can have a break even number at 20,
Okay.
and then we'll continue growing from there. But I
Okay.
want to stress that at the adult daycare, we do practice social distancing. We have
Mhm.
a staff there that is constantly cleaning and that's
Mhm.
constantly maintaining a safe environment for seniors to come in. And we do testing. The seniors are required to do COVID testing at least
Mhm.
once a month. And we also do temperature checks.
Okay. Okay. Um, so walk me through your day, because you and I sort of had a brief conversation right before this. I know I'm having challenges with time management, and I can't even imagine what your day looks like. So, how do you juggle all the balls? Because in addition to being a mogul, by the way, she's a mother and a wife, and all and active in the community. So how do you manage it all? Um,
It's a lot, I think, and this is what I'm trying to teach my children. When the less you have to do, the less productive I am,
mhm,
right? So I am highly productive when I have a lot on my plate.
mhm,
Believe it or not, I if I have one thing to do, it's like it's not going to get done. So here's my day. I get out of bed. I try to eat breakfast every day,
mhm.
and then I come into my office. And before I know exactly what my day is, before the night before, I know exactly what I'm doing. I
Okay.
have my calendar, and I put everything in my calendar, so I know essentially what I'm doing 8, 9, 10,
Okay.
all the way through the day. And I do put in time on my calendar because I am a mom first. On my calendar, I have 3 days that I do nothing after 6 o'clock, but spend time with my daughter going to soccer practice. I
Mhm.
drive her to soccer practice Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and there's nothing that happens with any business when I'm with my daughter. So I essentially put on my calendar appointments for the insurance agency, and then I also put in appointments for the medical supplies.
Okay.
So I take time to do both of them. I do have a partner with the insurance agency, and we do property and casualty, and he and I are working on that together.
Okay.
We also do life insurance and annuities, and so working with a partner helps
Mhm.
so that we can balance off each other with the medical supplies. Um, you know, my Scott works and helps with the deliveries. So my job is really just to go and find the business, get the clients, and to get the order placed, and he ships the orders out.
Okay.
So, and then we also have other drivers that can ship the orders out. And remember, what makes our medical supply company a little bit different from others is we only do wholesale.
Okay.
We don't sell retail. We really only deal with, the large corporations that want to order 50,000 of something so
Right.
that they can get a great price. I have to ship an order right now to the Bahamas, and they ordered 50,000 black face masks.
Okay.
So we try to make our lives easier by selling wholesale versus selling retail, because resale can tend to be time consuming and less profitable.
Right. And there's a middleman taking a chunk
Okay.
out as well.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
So, okay, let's delve a little bit into your household. Your husband is your partner. How were you able to, and actually it's funny because Melanie Shinhuster, our sorority sister, said hello. I asked her this exact same question. How are you able to determine who's responsible for what?
Well, we both have our strengths.
Okay.
My strength is business, and putting together proposals, putting together marketing plan, finding the customers, selling to the customers. That's my strength. His strength, he has a master's in math,
Mm-hmm.
so he's really good with math and been doing the QuickBooks, and so we just kind of balance off of each other. My strengths versus his strengths. He's organized, and so when it comes to um, making sure the QuickBooks are up to date. He will do that. Every day he goes to one of our businesses and he manages that business because I don't go there.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I've set it up is that the adult daycare has someone that's managing and running it. So I don't have to go there because it's already set up. Century Village in Pembroke Pines, it's running like a well-oiled machine. I
Oh,
don't have to go there except when I have an insurance client. We do have an insurance agency there, but
okay.
we have someone that's there. So I go there when I have a client. The medical supplies, I go out and get the business, get the contracts, and then he helps with working with our team to deliver the items, whether it's to the freight forwarder, or whether it's directly to the client. So we
Okay.
kind of balance what works for us based on our strengths.
Was that something you talked about, or was that something that just because you know each other so well, you were like, okay, that I know that's going to be his gig.
All right, wasn't that easy? Just gonna be honest, it was not. Okay.
It was a discussion. It was an argument.
No, it's like just trying to figure. Okay, like okay, I'm doing this, and it's like again, I don't really like doing this. Why don't you try doing this? Okay, and then he tried doing this. Like okay, he's doing bunch, he's doing better. Great. I know my lane. He knows his lane, and so through trial and error, we figured out. Okay, this is better for you over here. This is
Right.
better for me over here, and so I just do my thing, and then he does his thing. You
Okay.
know, um, I sent him a ton of stuff. I was like, okay, okay, honey, this is just not my thing right here. I'm working on this proposal. I'm working on trying to get a contract with Broward Health. I'm working on trying to
Mhm.
get this. So, he would do, his part, and then he would just let me run. He knows he has full confidence in my faith in getting the business and going out there and doing things.
Okay.
And so we've come to the point where it's trial and error, and a lot of balls being dropped because neither one of us wanted to do it, and so we figured out no balls are going to be dropped. We're going to figure it out whether we like it or not. I'm going to have to take this, and you're going to have to take that, and we
Right.
just work and feed off of each other,
Good.
and
Good.
that works for us.
So now you talked about the medical supplies. You have picked up a client at Broward Health, which is a huge client. Miami-Dade Public Schools, which I think you and I had actually had that conversation earlier. Congratulations.
Well, I am still waiting and hoping that I get the bid that I put in, but I'm putting it out there in the universe
Right, it's
that
gonna
I
be
put in a
there.
bid.
You got it. You got it.
Okay, I put in the
Um,
bid, so we'll see.
so how do you find out about these opportunities? Or do you receive RFPs, or which are requests for proposals for those of you who may not know what that is, or requests for qualifications, or just being in the right place at the right time, or just making cold calls?
To be honest with you, I don't make cold calls.
Mhm.
What I find is beneficial and helpful for me, it's being a part of organizations. So,
Mm.
for example, I'm the chair of the Parkland Chamber of Commerce,
Mm-hmm.
I am also a member of the Black Broward County Chamber of Commerce. And so when you're a part of different organizations, you hear about things,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and of course the Small Business Association with Sandy McDonald. I call and I ask, how can you help me, you know, um, get into the system so that I can be a vendor, and I get guidance from people, and I follow the guidance that I'm given. So I was advised to become a vendor. I'm on BidSync. I'm also a vendor at Jackson Memorial,
Mm-hmm.
Broward Health, Miami-Dade County Public Schools. So I go in and apply to be a vendor. And not only did I apply to be a vendor, but I also fill out the paperwork to become a certified minority-owned business through the state of Florida. So through the state of Florida, I'm a women
Uh-oh.
minority of such. And
Okay.
and having that certification actually helps so that when someone is looking for a vendor and they're looking for a certified vendor, I'm one of those certified vendors.
Okay.
So that helps. So, and it's really, everything is about networking, it's about relationships, and it's about maintaining those relationships, getting out there, meeting people, finding out from people, hey, what can I do? What is your hospital doing in terms of their procurement?
Right.
I just signed up to be a vendor for the city of Parkland. So when they have an opportunity for a bid to come out, they will send me a bid request.
Okay.
So once you're signed up, all of these institutions send out RFPs to all of their vendors, and you decide if you want to put in a bid for that product or not. And
Right.
that's how we've been doing it and
Very
getting
cool.
our name out there.
And it's funny, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you about membership of the chambers. Have you found that to be supportive? And yes,
You know,
that's been
I
helpful.
find, honestly, I'm very involved with the Parkland Chamber of Commerce, and I think the Black Broward County Chamber of Commerce has been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They seek to provide insightful information that's going to help all of its members be successful, and they are there to help.
Okay.
So I advocate joining Black Broward County Chamber of Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very helpful. And I also advocate wherever you are, join your chamber, because the chamber members, and I can speak for my specific chamber, we have leads group, and we focus on trying to build each other up and
Okay.
trying to support each other. The Parkland Chamber of Commerce, we actively seek ways to help refer to each other and how to help each other. And if we do that in our backyard and in our chamber, everyone can be successful. So that helps a lot.
Oh, good,
Okay.
good. So let's talk about again, COVID came in, and sort of the core of this show is the pivot plan. I talked about several times that I've only been in, prior to COVID, a meeting that has to do with the emergency plan once. It was a workshop that really sort of looked at hurricanes, it looked at possible recession. This is unprecedented. But because it's unprecedented, it really has opened up that conversation around how are we prepared. Um, were you prepared realistically for emergency circumstances prior to the pandemic? And what's changing now? What's different now? How's your operations changed? How's your plans for the future? Your plans for emergency? How's that evolved?
Well, we were not prepared for COVID-19 at all.
Nobody.
No, we were not.
Okay.
And our adult daycare, I mean, one day we are open and doing great
Uh-huh.
with I mean, just rocking and rolling, max. I mean, the place was full. And then literally the next day we are closed down to zero.
Mhm.
And so that was very devastating to the core. And we just had to write it out. We did get some assistance, and so that the assistance helped us to be able to get through the difficult times.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you that one business struggled while the other business prospered.
Wow, that's
Yes,
interesting. So
yes.
that sort of kept you afloat. That kept some revenue.
Thank God for the medical supplies business. I tell
Yes,
you,
yes, you're
thank
right.
God,
Yes,
because the medical supplies business um, really was what carried our family through. You know, we sold tons of PPE supplies to clients all over the world, and that helped significantly. So, um, you've heard the saying, you don't put all of your eggs in one basket, right?
right,
And so,
exactly.
we were doing extremely well, very profitable with the adult daycare, but because that was put on hold, the adult daycare um, income was non-existent,
Mm-hmm.
and we did get some help from the government that was able to sustain some of the bills, pay some of the employees, or
Mm-hmm.
pay the employees. But the reality is that was not enough to help our family to survive. That was
Right,
really just to maintain the employees and the adult daycare.
right,
What really made a huge difference for us was when we started getting contracts in the medical supplies,
right,
and shipping hand sanitizers, gloves, masks all over the Caribbean
right.
and even in the United States. And we did this at a wholesale price, and we made sure that the prices were very, very, very inexpensive so that the middleman can make money off of the sale.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll
Yeah.
give you an example. We sell gallons, we sell tons of gallons of hand sanitizers, even today. We sell gallons of hand sanitizers and we sell them wholesale and we sell them for $15.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go to Costco, $15 a gallon.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So when we ship those out to the Bahamas are selling them for 27, $30. So essentially the our suppliers or our purchasers have an opportunity to purchase from us and make a significant profit because we're selling it to them at such a low price.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the face mask, we're selling our face mask. We sell hundreds of thousands of face masks. We have new black face masks that are now popular, that are stronger, that are more durable, and they don't get as dirty as the blue face masks.
Mm-hmm.
So this morning we have a shipment to send over of 50,000 face masks, and the face masks are 25 cents each. So if you
So
can
how are
imagine,
you doing? Like, I mean, right now, I mean, over the last couple of months, shipping has been a challenge. Um, has that presented been a problem for you, or is it just steadily getting better?
well, there was a restriction sending PPE supplies out of the country. And so that presented a challenge for a while. However, there were exemptions
Mm,
that were in there that if you're selling to a hospital, certain things to a hospital, then you can sell it that way. And
mm,
I do have hospitals as my clients
mhm.
outside of the country. And we just looked at the exemption report based on, you know, what was instituted by President Trump. We looked and we were able to get supplies over there that were allowed based on the exemptions. Okay.
Okay.
And now um, we're having no issues sending products to the Bahamas.
Oh, very cool. Okay, so I subscribe to the idea that entrepreneurs, it's in your DNA. I think everybody. I asked this question of the Miami Dade Chamber chair of, can everybody be an entrepreneur? I don't think so. I think it's definitely something that's been bubbling in your skin since you were younger. Is that the case for you? And it just became realized maybe 5 years ago?
Both of my parents, I don't think I have a choice. Both of, I didn't have a choice. Both of my parents, my mom is, my mom had her beauty supply store when I was growing up.
Okay.
My mom still works. She has an employment agency now. My father had a parasailing business.
Really?
over by the Atlantis my entire life. Parasailing, jet skis, banana boating, everything on the beach was all my father. And my father still works at 80 years old. He is now, has um, chauffeur services with multiple vehicles.
Okay.
So I just didn't have a choice. You know,
It was
I
all
just,
you know.
that's all I know. And I actually started late because, my sister who lives in the Bahamas is an entrepreneur to the core. You know, all of my siblings are entrepreneurs. All of my siblings are entrepreneurs. My mother has five
Because
children.
they're in the islands.
They're all
They're
on the islands.
okay. Okay. And you came here and you decided to go corporate America.
I decided to go corporate America, but it's in the Deveaux blood. So I finally came home to being an entrepreneur. And so my father's proud of me. My parents are proud of me. And we're all, the whole family, even my siblings, my cousins. We are all entrepreneurs, and we're very successful doing it because that is in our blood.
Do you lean on them a lot for advice? Are they your sounding board, or and are there some tried and true lessons you've learned from your parents watching them as entrepreneurs?
I've learned so much from my parents
Mhm.
as entrepreneurs. I've learned the good, the bad, and the ugly about being in business. And I've learned the struggles of being in business, and I've learned the hard work of being in business. When everyone is sleeping, my mom has to be at her store working till all hours of the night to make sure she gets the inventory right, to make sure that the budget is correct,
Mhm.
and my father, you know, having to make sure when his parasailing machines or his parachute breaks down, what he has to do to get it fixed. You
Mhm.
have to get it fixed or you don't make money.
Right. So,
So, you know, when you're an entrepreneur, your work is never done, and so you have to work hard. You have to do the best that you can do,
right.
and you can't give up. And when something goes wrong, you have to figure out how to fix it. And you also have to figure out how to diversify because you cannot put all of your eggs in one basket. So let me give you an example of that. My father started a parasailing business when I was a wee baby, and he did parasailing, and he did that for a while. And then my father decided that he wanted to branch off and get jet skis.
Mhm.
Then he branched off to get banana boats,
Mhm.
right? And so then he branched off to get little boats to take people on sightseeing tour and snorkeling. So
Mhm.
he branched off to do all of these things. And he didn't just rely on his parasailing business because what eventually happened is that he started to get competition. So when he got competition for the parasailing, that's okay because he was doing great with parasailing. He got competition, but then he also had all of the other things that he'd put into place, right? And so he was very successful doing it. And he pretty much monopolized the Atlantis beach with his water sports. He
Mhm.
had a store there. He was the only one that had a store with all of the water sports equipment and supplies that they needed. And he monopolized for many, many years. So that taught me when you're in business, you if you're on the top of your game today, you always prepare because somebody is coming behind you to take your throne.
Right. Right.
And in
Right.
order for your throne not to be overthrown, you have to diversify. You have to diversify. And so, I learned that from my dad.
I like what you're saying about what your father did in terms of diversifying, because when he did, it really sort of all fell under that tourism industry.
He did.
He just found different and unique and interesting ways to keep the spark and keep the revenue streams flowing. I know sometimes entrepreneurs may do something way over here and then something way over here. I notice you two are sort of in the same sort of adult and health and wellness industry, different diverse products. What is your recommendation of, how you really are able to identify those multiple streams of income that really lend and serve the business under one industry? Or is it a good idea to
Well,
straddle?
so the adult daycare is something that is, I think, a gap in our community to
Mhm.
serve the seniors. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we have so many seniors that are thanking us every day because if they were not at our daycare, they would be in a nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, as I'm a Rotarian and AKA, um, you know, we strive on serving and helping others,
Mm-hmm.
and that's my way of doing that. Um, the insurance is something that you know, a very close friend of my daughter, her mom has a State Farm agency, and I love them dearly, and they are the ones that really brought this to my attention, how I could do extremely well in insurance. And and I thought, yes, I agree, because yet I could help people. I can use insurance to help people. Because one of the things that I know for sure, my family does not have the the knowledge to build financial wealth and pass on a legacy for their children. My my parents, all of their children pretty much have to start off from ground zero, building their own wealth,
Mm-hmm.
because my parents didn't know about transferring wealth to their children.
Right. Right.
So my girlfriend talked to me about it, and unfortunately, I think I didn't go the State Farm route, even though I love State Farm and I love my friend. I
Mm-hmm.
decided to go a different route, which is to be independent.
Okay.
And
Okay.
being independent just allows me to sell products across the board from a number of different insurance companies. So I can have the flexibility to offer my clients Transamerica, Mutual of Omaha, you know, American Fidelity, or a number of different
Right.
uh, insurance companies, so that I can give them the best price, and then I can also have the diversity to look at the right product for my client. I think State Farm is a great company.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something that I wanted to do as an independent agent, to open up, to look at different companies to sell to my to promote to my clients.
I didn't
But
even know that was an
getting it,
option. Like I didn't even know
so
that was.
there is, so I have you know, I can write for any insurance company,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
including the companies that I mentioned. And what this allows me to do is it's really helping people. You
Mm-hmm.
know, insurance is really helping people. It is allowing young folks, middle aged and older folks, to secure themselves in a good financial situation, so that if a crisis occurs again, like the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
or if you lose your job, or you know, if you want to send your kid off to school,
Mm-hmm.
how can you ensure that your financial security is intact even if you lose your job?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I get.
So, what insurance does is it allows you to prepare for the bad times, celebrate during the good times, and prepare for the bad times. And insurance allows you to do that. And so, let me give you a scenario. You know, you've been working for 20 years, you're making great money, you don't put anything in your life insurance, you don't put anything in your annuity. 20 years, you lose your job. When you lose your job, you now lose the insurance that
Mm-hmm.
you were paying at your company, because the insurance that you pay at your company is not portable. When you leave your company, you leave your insurance. So now, 20 years later, you are here 50 years old, and now you want to go and find insurance. The insurance is going to be incredibly higher than if you had bought it 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still get it, it's just going to be higher. And what I tell people is, even if you have insurance at your company, get your own outside insurance, because when no matter what, you are going to be covered whether you're with that job or not.
Okay.
So what happens is, when you get the insurance, you can choose the plan that's right for you and for your family. You can choose a plan that says, I will contribute X amount of dollars into my plan, so when I turn 65, I can have an income for life program, so I don't have to worry about Social Security, struggling, paying for medication, and living my lifestyle. I've been investing in an annuity for 20 years. And so now when I retire at 65, you know what? I'm going to get income for life plus
Right.
my Social Security. So now I can live my life at the same standard I was living at when I was working. So
Right.
there's so many options in insurance that a lot of people don't know, and we're here to educate them about that.
Now, are you able to, so because you have different, they, I'm sorry, I'm trying to, can't even get it together. So your business is interlocked in some ways.
Yes.
But are you also able to, how do you market for each one of them? I guess is what I'm saying. Are you able to sell some of your insurance to some of your clients at the adult daycare, or is that completely different target market? And how is that marketing work for you to secure clients for each one of those products?
So the adult daycare, it's all about relationships with the adult daycare. I have a lot of contracts. I have AmeriGroup, Sunshine Health. I'm
Mhm.
contracted with the Agency for Persons with Disabilities, so they pretty much send clients to us. And
Okay.
we've built relationships with them over the years, so they help us fill our space. And
Okay.
we're pretty much before the pandemic, we were pretty full. Okay. For the insurance company, we do ads in the newspapers. In Century Village, we do newspaper ads.
Hmm.
We also do sponsor ads on Facebook. We
Okay.
also go to a lot of networking events. Like I said, I'm a part of the chamber, Parkland Chamber. We have a networking group where we try to refer to each other.
Hmm.
The Black Broward County Chamber of Commerce, we work in there to try to refer to each other.
Hmm.
A lot of networking groups, building relationships, and also referrals from friends.
Okay.
Referrals from friends are the best form of business that we get. So as we close on one client, we ask our client, is there anyone else that you can think about that may benefit from the service that you're getting from us? And so we take it as an honor when our clients refer their family and their friends to us because that means they trust us and
Hmm.
they trust the service that we provided to them. So, marketing is a complex thing. We don't want to be everything to everyone. We just want to be an agency that provides personalized service to
Hmm.
our clients to help them protect their financial security. We want to help our clients protect themselves so that
Hmm.
they don't have to struggle in a crisis, so they don't have to struggle when they retire. When you
Hmm.
retire, you don't have to struggle. Let us
Absolutely. On that
help
one.
you figure out how to do that. That is extremely important so that they can live a comfortable life and they can be sure that they leave a legacy behind for their children.
Mhm. So, what is your pivot plan? Are you in the middle of it now, or do you feel as if right now you're in survival mode and then the next phase will lead you into what your formal pivot plan should be during
Well,
emergency circumstances?
well right now, we are in the adult daycare. We're just really struggling to try to get our clients back.
Okay.
We're struggling to get the clients back, and we've been hearing that it's going to be a while, and there's nothing that we can do about that. We just have to continue to pray that family members feel comfortable sending their loved ones to us,
Mm-hmm.
and we are also praying that this pandemic passes quickly. If everyone follows the rules, wear their masks, practice social distancing, use hand sanitizers, you know, hopefully we can get back to a new normal very shortly.
Mm-hmm.
The medical supplies, honestly, we're not struggling with the medical supplies. The medical supplies are doing extremely well.
Gotcha.
So we want to encourage clients, anyone out there, you work for Broward Health, you need a large volume of medical supplies, give
Mm-hmm.
us a call. We have um, tons of hand sanitizer by the gallons. We have black face masks. We have gloves. We have the PPE supplies that most people are looking for right now. So they can
Mm-hmm.
give us a call, and we have those items available.
Okay.
Um, the insurance company, believe it or not, the insurance company is picking up. We have clients that are now calling us saying, you know what, we need to get insurance,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to have insurance for us and the event that we lose our jobs again, and the
Mm-hmm.
event that we get sick. So remember, You can get an insurance plan that has a rider in it, and that rider says, if you cannot, we can get a rider, the waiver of premium rider,
Mm,
which means if you cannot pay your premium for it, one of the reasons outlined, the insurance will pay your premium for you.
hmm
Secondly, if you are disabled, we have a long-term care rider that you can put into your policy that will actually pay for a someone to come and take care of you so that you don't have to burden your family. So there are so many benefits to having insurance. Insurance is not just for when you pass away. Insurance can be used when you are alive.
hmm
You can use your insurance benefits when you are alive. And that's what's the big deal about insurance. That's what people don't tell you. They tell you that, oh, it's for life insurance when you pass. No,
Right.
insurance benefits are for when you're alive as well. So consider getting insurance so that you can use it while you're alive to help you, your family and to help yourself.
I mean, you're absolutely correct because I know as I've been sitting here with little to do as you know, you stuck inside, you start looking at your professional and your personal life. So I know my husband and I have actually started to vet, our retirement plan, all of those types of things. So it is, I will second her motion to say it is a good time to really think through your financial future, not even as you die, but as you're living and continue to live. And in particular, in circumstances like this, I think this situation has really opened our eyes to the possibilities of what struggle can really look like. And if you're not prepared and you haven't done the necessary steps, it can be a challenge both as an entrepreneur and as a person. So before we go, I definitely want to make sure, I think I got everything. I want to make sure I got all the questions. As I mentioned, I think you're a mogul. Do you think you're a mogul?
I think, people have called me a lot of things. They've called me a mogul. They've called me a philanthropist. They've called me a senior advocate. I call myself Corlette Deveaux, mother of Angelo and Alexis Deveaux. That's what I call myself. I'm just a mom, just wanting to do the best thing for my children and to teach my children how to be successful and how to work hard to earn what they want in life. Work for what you want and you will achieve it, but you have to believe it.
Yeah.
I'm Corlette Deveaux or Corey D.
Thank you very much. Tell us how we can find you.
Well, you can find me on Facebook as Corey D.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find me on my website for the insurance. It is www.devoegroup.com. You can also call me at 954-610-3732, and that is my direct line. You will speak to me personally, and I am hands-on. And if you need anything, no question is stupid. I'm here to answer any question that you have and to help you in any way that I can. That is my duty as a Rotarian, as an AKA, and as a person of God, and as a mother. I'm here to help. Give me a call.
And I can attest to that, by the way. Thank you so much for joining us again today.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Stephanie, I appreciate you having me on the call.
All
Okay.
right. And I will be calling you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Take care.
Uh, So thank you everyone for joining us for this wonderful show. Based on the feed, it looks like everybody thought this was really good information and really even got some feedback from Tracy. Thank you for joining us that said, celebrate the good times and prepare for the bad times. Great advice. So it is great advice. And I will say I've leaned into that and I've actually had the good fortune of taking a workshop from my sorority sister, Corlette Deveaux, and she was a wealth of information. So I do recommend that you give her a call. On next week, we are still celebrating National Women's Small Business Month, which is October. We are doing a month of celebrating women entrepreneurs, highlighting women entrepreneurs. So we will be interviewing Ashley Andrews from Digital Zest. on Tuesday at 10 a.m. And it's interesting because Ashley actually does my social media. So I'll have a chance to really delve into that market, how it's grown exponentially, and how people are able to make a really great living in that realm, how she's been able to do so as well. And then we're going to speak to another of my sorority sisters, Altrice Hawkins of Little Miss Turbans. She started a manufacturing business making hair covering turbans for young people and adults. And so it'll be interesting to see how she's had to transition in this manufacturing space. So we'll see you next Tuesday, next Thursday at 10 a.m. Thank you for tuning in, and you have a great weekend, everyone. Have a great day.